My wife cheated with her trainer and others, how I uncovered the truth, rebuilt my life, and moved on. My wife, Emily, and I had been married for 8 years, and while things weren't perfect, I thought we were happy. We had built a life together, bought a house, and talked about starting a family soon. She was the love of my life, or so I thought. It all started about 6 months ago when Emily decided to take her fitness seriously. She signed up for a personal trainer at a high-end gym. I was proud of her commitment to health and even encouraged her to go for it. Her trainer, Derek, was one of those chiseled types, perfect smile, perfect abs, and always posting motivational quotes on Instagram. I didn't think much of him at first. Why would I? He was just her trainer. But over time, I started noticing changes in Emily. She became secretive with her phone, something she had never done before. She'd spend hours texting someone, laughing at her screen, and then quickly turning it off when I walked into the room. When I asked her about it, she brushed it off, saying it was just her girlfriends gossiping. I wanted to believe her, so I ignored the nagging feeling in my gut. Her gym sessions became longer and more frequent. What used to be an hour 3 times a week turned into 2-hour sessions almost every day. She started dressing differently, too, tighter clothes, more makeup. She looked amazing, but something felt off. She was distant, and our intimacy had almost disappeared. Whenever I tried to bring it up, she'd accuse me of being insecure or controlling. Then came the night that changed everything. Emily had told me she was meeting her friends for a girls' night out. I didn't think twice about it until one of her friends, Sarah, posted a picture of their group on Instagram. Emily wasn't in it. My heart sank, but I told myself there could be a reasonable explanation. Maybe she stepped out of the shot, or maybe she joined them later. But the seed of doubt was planted. The next morning, Emily came home smelling like cologne. She claimed she'd crashed on Sarah's couch because she drank too much. When I asked why Sarah's post didn't include her, she stumbled over her words before snapping at me for checking up on her. That was the moment I knew something was seriously wrong. I decided to investigate. I started small, checking her phone whenever she left it unattended. She had changed her passcode, which only made me more suspicious. Then, I remembered our shared phone plan. I logged into the account and checked her call and text history. That's when I saw his number, Derek's, over and over again. Late-night calls, hours-long conversations, dozens of texts every day. My stomach churned. Still, I needed proof. I couldn't confront her with just a phone bill. So, I did something I never thought I'd do. I hired a private investigator. It felt extreme, but I needed the truth. Over the next few weeks, the pie uncovered more than I ever wanted to know. Emily wasn't just cheating with Derek. There were others. The pie followed her to secret meetups, documenting her with 2 different men on separate occasions. One was Derek, and the other was a guy from her office. I was devastated. This wasn't just a fling, it was a pattern of betrayal. My world crumbled. But the worst was yet to come. One night, while Emily was at the gym, the pie sent me photos of her and Derek in his car. They weren't just talking. I stared at the images, my hands shaking, my heart pounding in my chest. The woman I had loved and trusted was lying to me, living a double life. I confronted her that night. When she walked through the door, I was sitting at the dining table with the photos and phone records spread out in front of me. Her face went pale. For a moment, she tried to deny it, but the evidence was undeniable. Then, she shifted to anger, blaming me for not being attentive enough, for not making her feel loved. Her words cut deep, but they also made me realize something. This wasn't my fault. She had made the choice to cheat, repeatedly, with multiple people. Our argument escalated, and she stormed out, leaving me alone in the house we had built together. I felt like my entire life had been a lie. The next few weeks were a blur. Emily moved out and stayed with a friend, at least, that's what she told me. I filed for divorce and started going to therapy to process everything. It was painful, but I knew I couldn't let her betrayal define me. Then, something unexpected happened. One of the men Emily had been seeing, the guy from her office, reached out to me. He apologized, saying he had no idea she was married until after they'd started their affair. He told me that Emily had been seeing multiple people, even before Derek. Apparently, this had been going on for years. My heartbreak turned to anger. How could she do this? How could she lie to me for so long? I channeled that anger into rebuilding my life. I threw myself into work, took up new hobbies, and reconnected with friends I had neglected during my marriage. I even joined a gym, not the one Emily went to, of course, and started focusing on my own health. Slowly but surely, I began to feel like myself again. The divorce was finalized 6 months later. Emily tried to reconcile a few times, sending tearful texts and apologetic emails, but I knew better than to fall for it. She wasn't sorry for what she did, she was sorry she got caught. Now, over a year later, I can finally say I'm in a better place. I've learned to trust my instincts, value my own worth, and never settle for less than I deserve. Emily's betrayal was the hardest thing I've ever faced, but it taught me some invaluable lessons about love, loyalty, and resilience. To anyone going through something similar, know this: it gets better. The pain doesn't last forever, and you'll come out stronger on the other side. Betrayal doesn't define you, how you choose to move forward does.